A patio can add beauty to your landscape and provide a place for friends and family to relax. In previous videos in this series, we showed you how to design your project and lay the foundation. In this video, we'll show you that installing a patio isn't as difficult as you might think. And soon enough, you'll have an inviting new area for everyone to enjoy. We've already marked our patio area and laid the foundation. Now, this is a very important step to make sure your patio surface is solid and durable. To learn how to prep your patio, watch Laying the Foundation for a Patio or Walkway at Lowe's.com/videos. When working on your patio, be sure to follow local building codes. Installing a patio requires some lifting and cutting of stone. So if you don't feel comfortable installing your patio, contact a professional for help. Depending on the size of your project, the complete process may take a few days. Plan ahead. You may want to devote one weekend to laying the foundation and the next weekend to installing the pavers. Here's what you'll need to start laying the patio: pavers, a rubber mallet, a level, work gloves, a wheelbarrow, and some extra paver sand that you used for the base. Knee pads are also helpful. We carry concrete pavers and stepping stones in a wide variety of sizes, shapes, and colors. They can be installed in many different patterns. So whether you want the look of brick pavers, cut stone, or natural stone, you can customize your project to reflect your personality. Now, we'll be using 6x6 and 6x9 blocks in a running bond pattern, meaning our joints will be staggered. We'll also use the 6x9 blocks as a border. Now, we use the corner of the house as our starting point. Beginning with the border blocks, we set the first paver tight against the foundation of the house, then set the next block as tight as possible to the first. We continued working our way toward the middle of the patio area. Since our layer of sand is uniform, our pavers should be level, but it's always a good idea to check. If you find that a paver sits too high, gently tap it down with a rubber mallet and check it again with a level. If a paver sits too low, place some extra sand underneath it and gently tap it down with a rubber mallet until the paver is even with the surrounding stones. When you get to the edges, you may have to cut the pavers to fit, which isn't as difficult as you might think. Here's what you'll need: a diamond blade wet saw, which makes cutting easy. Check with your local Lowe's for rental options. You'll also need a garden hose for the saw, chalk or a mason's crayon for marking, and most importantly, safety goggles, work gloves, ear protection, and a dust mask. If you don't want to rent a wet saw, you'll need a chisel and hammer. You may also need an angle grinder and a brick hammer. Hold the paver on top of the one that will sit next to it. With a mason's crayon, mark where the top paver joins the bottom paver. Then cut with a wet saw. Set the block in place to see if it fits. Make any necessary adjustments. Continue cutting the blocks to finish off the patio. Another option when cutting pavers is to simply use a hammer and chisel. Hold the paver in place and mark the cut line with a straight edge and mason's crayon on all four sides of the block. Place the block on a flat, sturdy surface. Hold the chisel on the cut line with the beveled edge facing the waste side of the block. Tap the chisel with the hammer along the line on all four sides to score the block. Then hold the chisel on the mark and give it a hit. Smooth any edges with an angle grinder or use a brick hammer to knock off any rough pieces. Now, our patio has a curved edge at the walkway and corners. This patio also has steps leading from the back door. We set the pavers against the stairs, which will hold the pavers in place. Once all the pavers have been set, it's time for the finishing touches. You'll need a plastic retaining edge to hold the pavers in place, a hammer, spikes, paver sand, a broom, garden hose, a shovel, and a rented plate compactor or a hand tamper, and stone sealant. Install the retaining edge around the perimeter with a hammer and spikes. Set it below the top surface of the patio and make sure it's tight against the pavers. Cut the retaining edge to bend around curves. Some paver manufacturers recommend plate compacting the patio. If you have to compact your block, work from the perimeter to the middle of the patio. The next step is to fill the joints with sand. Pour generous amounts of sand over the blocks. With a stiff broom, work the sand into the joints. Remove any excess with the broom. Then lightly mist the patio with a garden hose. This helps work the sand into the joints. If you see any gaps, apply more sand and mist with water. Repeat until all the joints are filled. Now you can backfill the edges with dirt. Then gently wash the surface with a garden hose. Some pavers require a sealant. follow the manufacturer's instructions regarding application and dry time. Plant grass or flowers around the edge, or mulch like we did. Then set up your patio furniture and enjoy your new gathering place. To learn about other outdoor projects, watch more how-to videos at Lowe's.com/videos.